gonna start with the Pillar of Autumn. Let's bring that down. Oh, why is it like that? Oh well. We're gonna start with the Pillar of Autumn, and I'm gonna be doing some work on changing the textures of the hull, because it kind of looks like crap. Get rid of the decorative bits. Hide the turrets for now. Okay, so those turrets are not separate, and they need to be. So we have to go in here and, oh lovely, it's gonna be like that. Awesome. Separate these out. One, so they're easier to work with in Blender, and two, so that when we move them over to Starfield and start doing some work in the CK with them, these can actually become weapon points and functioning turrets, instead of just being some decorative pieces. Okay.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Now Taxes is having a TurboTax expert who does your taxes from start to finish. Are you checking anytime?
I'm using OBS to stream. Sorry, I have Stream Chat pulled up on my phone.
Now this is
because
Taxes.
I don't know how to have it so that the chat from OBS overlays my other programs, and I don't really want it to right now.
Great news, Spectrum Internet customers.
So I'll just have it up on my phone.
Spectrum Mobile risk-free for a full year at no cost to you. Bring your own device and we'll pay off your phone balance up to $500 per month. Plus, upgrade your phone anytime, as many times
Right now,
get
I mean,
unlimited
it's gonna be the same model for both of them eventually. At least the outside bit. Maybe, I don't know. There's a couple different like Halcyon or Autumn models that I have. KRP has a really nice Autumn class model that I wanna mess with and maybe get that as the Autumn class for a late war ship. But my bigger priority over this is technically the Autumn is a refit Halcyon, so all this extra plating and some of these extra sections, and like how the hangers look, and some of these just ended bits and things like that are different than the standard Halcyon version. And I currently don't have a great looking Halcyon model. The Halcyon model that I have, that's the original non-refit version, is from the Project Stardust model, so it's the oh no, I don't want to do that. It's the Roblox version, which means I will need to touch it up significantly and then do more greebling and textures and all that fun stuff. That's not like the highest priority right now. The Autumn obviously takes precedence, given that she's like one of the more featured ships in Halo's story and different timelines of events. I don't know why. I don't know why the alt thing isn't working for me right now. But right now I am just working on the static version. So that's going to be the first thing, because that's going to be for the demo level. It's going to be the first level from the original Halo game. Only you won't be playing as the Master Chief. So, you know, things are going to feel and play a little differently. It's not going to be a one-to-one exact copy of the first level. There are going to be some differences. But honestly, given that it's a demo, I might change that. But in the mod, you will not be playing as the Master Chief, so. Hey, listen, you can play as whatever you want to if you want to customize the mod and go crazy, but it'll be real awkward when you're playing along the story and then the actual Master Chief shows up and you're like, wow, one of us has to change. You can't both wear the same thing to the party, Michael, okay? And considering that, what'd you say, Mark 6 armor wasn't introduced until, gosh, I want to say much later into the war. I would say maybe about halfway. I'd have to double check that. I don't know the exact date that the Mark 6 armor was introduced to Spartans, but I know that it was fairly rare. Most Spartans were still working with a Mark V base for quite a long time, and not including a lot of the Spartans that still had modified versions of Mark IV armor. Like technically Red Team, although they did get frozen, so it doesn't really count, but I don't know, it may be different, and Mark 6 armor got introduced a whole lot earlier, but that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, given that when Master Chief gets the armor in Halo 2, it's this whole big deal. And they make it a whole point of saying your new armor is a Mark 6. A lot of upgrades and improvements over the Mark 5. Although there could have just been some odd circumstances as to why the Master Chief did not get Mark 6 armor for a significant amount of time, even though he was pretty active. Love having to do all this by hand. don't know why this is not working. That's weird. When I hit Alt and then Shift and then select it, it should select all the geometry that's connected to it. Although, of course, I don't necessarily want that, given that it's all one shape. But when they made it, it should have been different. Like, pieces. You know, instead of all just one object. But then whoever worked on and then uploaded this model could have done more things to it, so... might be why it's done that way. I also don't know what program the original Pillar of Autumn, this model was made in. This is the Reach model, or the CE anniversary model, technically speaking. Same model, but this one has been worked on a little bit by someone from the Halo Archive Discord, and so I don't know what all they've done to it. You know, it just says that they've touched it up some, but okay. I'm pretty sure when Bungie and then 343 did all this stuff, they don't use Blender, they use some other software. It might be some in-house thing, or it might be, more than likely it's probably, I mean, I'd say probably, it might be like 3DS or something, I don't know. No clue at all. Double checking these little nooks and crannies so I don't miss anything. Yep, just like that. I may mess around and do some non-YouTube streams on like the Discord channel at some point down the line, just so one, I can stream whatever music I want to play and not have to worry about copyright stuff because it's not uploaded anywhere, and two, so that it's easier to play music, because I can just get a music bot and it's done. Yeah, I know. Listen, Twitch did not win the vote, and I can't play copyright music on Twitch. So if I want to listen to Childish Gambino or any of my Norse music or anything like that, I am SOL. And no, it would. I'd still be running into the same problems, baby. With the OBS stuff. But also, what the hell mod content? Yeah, I know. But when I'm doing this by myself, I just listen to a bunch of... It's either dubstep or rap or metal or weird ancient folk music. I will occasionally listen to Halo soundtracks when I'm working on this stuff. But, not too often. I wanted to play music and try to get that working. What in the heck? Okay, cool. Microsoft antivirus.
A sweetheart's rope, so you'll pucker.
I wanted to play Halo music, one, because I don't have to worry about copyright stuff with a lot of the OSTs, and two, because I don't want to like have to worry about not getting too focused on the Blender stuff, and then I'm just quiet, and then you guys are dealing with silence, and that doesn't make for a fun stream or a fun video when this gets uploaded. I mean, I'm already only relegated to Blender work until I get my new GPU. Which is already not the best. What happens if am I missing anything? Oh yeah, I am. Okay, so there we go. Let's get this stuff out of the way. I don't know if my voice audio is really I'm just very quiet. my mic is set all the way to the top, but if I have my mic too close to my face, like you'll be able to start hearing me breathe, which is a little unnerving. I've worked on the CK before. Like before all my stuff crashed, I was doing a lot of work on the Winter class Prowler, which I'll have to download again so I can work on. But it's the one from, it was in Halo 5, and it's one of the few Halo 5 ships I actually enjoy. Well, no, I say that. Halo 5 actually had some decent ships. The Prowler looked really good. The Covenant ships I thought were generally fine. There's some minor issues. I feel like they're a bit too bulbousy and not defined enough. They don't have very defining features the way that a lot of other Covenant vessels do. Although I guess, technically speaking, you could make the argument that's because they're not really Covenant vessels, and they're Sangheili vessels from before the Covenant was formed. These are going to be a bitch to get to. So I guess that's some sort of reasoning, I suppose. I don't know. It's not good enough for me. I'm going to want to work on them, and so I will. I want to give them more unique profiles and definition, so that they're not just giant curvy meshes and they actually feel and look distinct. They do enough in so much as like you're part of the wall, or what are you part of? I'm pretty sure I got all the meshes in here. Insofar as they do not really look like other Covenant vessels, and so that gives them some semblance of uniqueness, I suppose, but they're just too like vague in shape. So these aren't, I'm not talking about the redesigns. Yeah, I don't like the redesigns of a lot of things, but the Prowler actually looks pretty cool. The Winter class Prowler, it's one of the smallest UNSC ships, and it's a stealth vessel. It's an Oni vessel. Really, all Prowlers are Oni vessels, but it is the smallest Prowler class. I believe it's technically the smallest UNSC like ship, actual ship, not counting like Pelicans and stuff like that. It has a Sha Fujikawa drive, a translite engine. It has, I don't think, many actual weapon capabilities. I think it's got some small armament. I'd have to go back and read the ship info for it. But its main purpose is a stealth vessel for carrying either small teams or like high-ranking personnel, and they don't want to get caught because the ship has the ability to go invisible. Essentially, it has cloaking capabilities. I want to say it's one of the only two kinds of ships that can do that. They're both prowler ships, and it's the Winter class and the, I want to say, Sahara class prowler also has cloaking. I think those are the only ones. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure those are the only two. There's the there's another one. I forget what it's called, but it's the two kinds of prowlers that almost look the same. They have the same vague profile, but they're dissimilar enough that in canon they're different ships. But I think that when it started out, they were just the same ship, but done in a different art style, like because they come from like comic books, I think, or just comics. For Halo, so. But yeah, no. Overall, I agree. Halo Infinite was a much-needed return to form for a lot of things, but I'm not just gonna say everything from, you know, Halo 4 and Halo 5 was bad, because that's not really true. It's fun to hate on them because there's a lot to hate, justifiably so. But you know, like I said, I enjoy the Winter Prowler. I enjoy the overall feel of the Covenant ships. Even that tiny, what is it, an RCS or something, whatever it's called. It's essentially just a CCS battlecruiser, but really, really tiny. I think it's like 300 meters long or something like that. Like, it's laughably small, but is technically still called a cruiser. I don't know. I don't think 343 thought that one out too much. But I mean, it looks fine enough overall. You know, some people have differing opinions on whether or not green on Covenant ships looks good. I think it looks okay. You know, I don't really feel strongly one way or the other about green lighting on the alien ships. I think it's fine. You know. Other than that, I would also really like to get, and I responded to somebody about this in the Discord, I would also really like to get the Jackal EVA armor from Halo 4 and 5, because it's the only EVA armor for the Jackals in all Halo. And then I would like to mold it to the classic sleek style for the Jackal body. The one you see in all the Halo games except 4 and 5. Those Storm Jackals. I don't know. It just made everything too brutish. They made everything too bulky. That was kind of their whole aesthetic for those games. and obviously most people didn't care for it. Some people like it, you know, and that's fine. It's all well and good. It's not like it's objectively terrible or anything. You know, it's an Alien. It looks fine. Graphically, it looked okay. It all just comes down to personal preference, I suppose. And more so just that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for a species to look a specific way for every other game, and then all of a sudden they look totally different and only vaguely similar to original Jackals. It'd be like if they did that for the skirmishers, like if they took the skirmishers from Halo Reach and they look enough like Jackals to where you can look at it and go, okay, yeah, no, I know what that is. That's a Jackal. But instead, they made those look something like the Storm Jackals from Halo 4 and 5. But they were very clear that it was a different kind of subspecies of Jackal. Did I get everything? I think I did. Yeah. And, you know, of course they function vastly differently already. The Jackals, very clearly distinct from the skirmishers, very clearly distinct from the Jackals. I think it wouldn't have been as big a deal. It's the same thing where I think if instead of, you know, Jul 'Mdama's Covenant or Remnants or whatever in Halo 4, if they had started with like the Banished or the Brute Enemy or something like that, I think it would have gone off a lot better. I think people would have gravitated towards the idea of that a whole lot more. It just... Playing Halo 3 and Halo 2. Playing Halo 2 and Halo 3 and going through all that story and everything and understanding why the Covenant did what they did to the Sangheili, and then the fact that the information that the prophets had been lying the whole time was then dispersed rapidly throughout the entire Covenant to all Sangheili, who were all being hunted by the Covenant, by the way. This is a Covenant-wide phenomenon pretty much everywhere. It makes zero sense to me that then some elites, apparently a sizable portion of elites, would then stay with that ideology and try to start their Covenant again. It makes no sense to me at all. Zero sense. But wasn't my game. I was not part of the development team. You know, that was all Frank O'Connor. His doing, unfortunately. And look, I've said it before and I say it again. Objectively speaking, just looking at them as video games, they're perfectly fine games. Good games. They really are. Honest to God, Halo 4 and 5, and even Infinite are good games. Now, whether or not they're good Halo games, obviously, that's up for a serious debate. And some Bungie purists and loyalists will argue that Halo 4 and 5 are not objectively good games, and I would disagree with that. I know a lot of that just comes from the sourness of, you know, all that, but... Oh, I do not want to include you. No, I don't. So very sorry. It might be easier just to do it like this. But yeah, it's just for me personally, It's just that it didn't feel like they were Halo games so much. And I think a big part of that, a big reason for that, is the new gaming industry standard of contract workers, of game designers and developers who are not part of the actual studio, which has been the case for quite some time. And you also have a group of people that are in charge, that are leading the way, that do not have a defined image of what their game was supposed to be. They didn't have the same vision for Halo that the original creators had. You know? And I think that that's pretty evident, you know? It's not to say that they didn't care for it in their own way, but their version of Halo was not what it was. Their version of Halo, it's kind of like a girlfriend you get with, and she doesn't get with you because she thinks you're great the way that you are. She gets with you because she sees what you can be, and she'll work on you until you become what she wants you to be. That's what it was kind of like. Okay. Make sure I'm not missing any little bits and pieces of these turrets here. Think I got it all. Yeah, okay. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to separate. Selection. And then I'll go in later and then separate these individually from the small turrets from the big ones. Although I may not. I don't know. I may bring the other turrets back and combine them all into one big group just called turrets, because unless someone has found a consistent and successful way to make it to where you can have more than 4 weapon types, more than 4 weapons that you can use in Starfield, we're limited to those 3 things, and you can't have, you know, big turrets, small turrets, Mac gun, and then, you know, different missiles and all that stuff. So I think, unfortunately, unless we can figure out a way to expand that system so you can use more than 3 ship weapons, it'll all have to be all missiles are one thing, all turrets are one thing, and then the Mac gun. Probably. And then for the smaller carriers that it'll be pilotable, I think we'll figure out something with being able to deploy fighters as a, you know, single-use NPC deployable, like a spawn-in sort of thing. And they fly out from inside the ship and don't have collision, maybe. I don't know. For a later time. But that's one of the ideas I've been mulling over. But for like the Pillar of Autumn and other Halcyons that are technically supposed to have long swords in them, even though they don't actually fit inside the bays, because scale. Instead of being able to deploy them, maybe just have it so that they spawn once you take control of the ship, and they act as like escort ships that kind of thing. And then when you get out of the pilot seat, they can despawn maybe. I'm not too sure. There's a mod that kind of does that, where you can have a fleet of ships with you, and they'll follow you around, and they use your ships, and you can choose which ship is in your little mini fleet there. I lost my train of thought. But I'll have to look into like how all that functions and how and if I can replicate that in a very specific way. And if it's just too much of a hassle. I mean, I don't think so, because they're, I mean, comparative to what we're working with here, they're fairly tiny. But might just replace them with Basilards, which is a smaller kind of fighter. Eternity Hay Sport. Let's see. So we'll go ahead and remove those for now. See how we're looking now. My CPU's internal GPU is struggling, guys. Yeah, the original Halcyon model, the non-refit version, I think doesn't have most of these engines. I think it doesn't have these two, and it doesn't have these. So it's just got the big ones and the small ones, I believe. I'm not too sure. I'll have to go back and look at, well, one, I'll have to look at the model that I have and see what the engines are on it. And then two, I'll have to look at both the original Pillar of Autumn from the first Halo game, because that is an original Halcyon, not a refit. Actually, it wasn't even supposed to look like that in game. It was supposed to look like this. Technically, this, well, not even technically, this is the canon version of the Pillar of Autumn. Because the Pillar of Autumn was one of a few Halcyons that got this refit upgrade. It had all these extra armor bits, it had heavier weapons, a better mech system, better engines, reactors, and it has the honeycomb structure on the internals that the original Halcyon does not have. The original Halcyon does not have the honeycomb superstructure, only the refit. So, also, for anyone who remembers Halo CE, technically speaking, which you're going to hear me say that a lot, this little section here is supposed to be that stupid fucking bridge you cross in the original game. Everyone was always talking about how it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't, because originally the Pillar of Autumn was supposed to be split down the middle, and the head of the ship, or a portion of the ship, was supposed to be scattered across this desert, but they didn't end up doing that, and so they just had this weird section, and then for whatever reason they kept it in. So, when they actually finalized the refit design years later, that was supposed to be based off of the book, which came out before the first game, actually, where it describes all the refit upgrades that the Pillar of Autumn got. Excuse me. They put this little thing here, and I mean, it looks terrible in this version because, again, you know, scaling, and this just looks like a little weird metal strut and all that, but These open sections are supposed to be the hull of the ship, where when you're doing the Warthog run, you're driving through and there's this big open...
Get $10 off when you spend $25 on makeup, skincare.
Big open area here, blah blah blah, terrifying. And then
Save now through March 29th.
you do the bridge cross right here in this section. And then there's someone who did a fixing the inside of the Pillar of Autumn kind of spiel, and they took the internal layout that we knew about and the external stuff and the actual level of the Warthog run in the Maw and the first section of the game, and they reworked it so that it makes more sense. So, and there's a mod for that, I think, on Halo MCC, or there's a model for it at least, I think, somewhere. So the inside and that final level makes sense, where you go through all these sections and you the elevator takes you all the way up, and then you drive, but then you go up again instead of it being like a straight line, and then it takes you up here, and then you come down here, and then you cross this bridge, and then you go down further this way, and then this section right here is the big cargo offload area. And so that big jump, that leap of faith section that you do in the Warthog right here takes place right there. And then I don't know, I think they have like a bay out the front or something. I don't know. I don't remember how they loop it back, because the hangar is supposed to be like right here or something, or on this side maybe. I don't remember, but they have it to where it makes sense, and I want to do that so that we can make it make sense. For the Pillar of Autumn herself, she will not be flyable in the mod, unfortunately. She'll be a static object, like a level, sort of like how the UC Vigilance works in Starfield Vanilla. And so the inside will not match the outside. Because in the original Halo it doesn't. I mean, even the first level, it's got you going like here's the bridge right here, and from the bridge it's got you going to like all these areas back like way out here that don't make any sense, and then the escape pod areas are all kinds of weird. It's like they're supposed to be here, but then they don't really work. So for the Halcyon model that will be flyable. Oh, 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. I have to pause this 1 second. We have groceries that just delivered, so I'm gonna be right back. While I bring those in and take care of that. Shouldn't be more than a couple minutes. And I'll get something to drink. So, be right back. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. Had to speed run putting my cold stuff away. Now I'm just getting food stuff set up so that I can eat and all that good stuff and not have to leave again. Okay, back to it. And now we wait. Did you miss me? Okay. Now I'm going to look for some PBRs to put on here so that textures don't look like that, because that's kind of ugly. Is that okay? So that's all one model now. So let's get on the old Google here. And metal. Oh no, what was the one? Hold on. Alex. Texture stuff. There's a specific place I got my PBRs from last time, and I do not remember where. Check my old history tab. No. Pabst Blue Ribbon? Is that, what is that? Oh, no. 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 No, no, that's not what I mean. What does PBR stand for? Physically based rendering. That's what it stands for. It's like it's like a texture that gives it, I don't know, texture.
When you have skin in the game, reach for the #1 face care brand. #1? Can't beat that. Neutrogena.
As trainers, we work together with our Pokemon to reach new heights. Discover powerful bonds in the Pokemon trading card game Scarlet and Violet. Journey together.
Aluminum,
Available now.
copper,
Each feature pack
and
of 10 cards sold
brass.
separately. Cards vary by pack.
Corrugated plates. Ferrous metal. Plated. There we go. I don't remember where I was that I got. Checking bulkheads. Let me see if I can't show you guys. Window capture. Here we go. How's that look? Pringle bus received. Post baby relocation. I'm looking for something that fits the UNSC ship aesthetic. Hey. No, I don't remember where I got the textures for that I used on the Punic, and that had a lot of really good ones. Is it here? No. Block detected. No. Polyhaven, maybe? Maybe. This does look vaguely familiar. Man-made. No. No, no, no. No.
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief with Tums. It's time to love food back. Also try Tums Gummy Bites.
Cholula's authentic blend of premium Mexican flavors makes your thing the best thing. Cholula, authentic Mexican flavor.
Let's see here. Nope. Okay, so that's not taken. It had like square images, I think, of the textures. Cause dude, it's been so long. Not what I meant to type. Might have been different greebles, something specific to greebles. This seems like I may have to you know, I bet you it's somewhere in my Discord history. Yeah, okay. I'm thinking I found it, 'cause I'm dumb. Wow, I was way overcomplicating things. They're on Sketchfab. I'm big smooth brain level genius, guys. I was getting greebles from Sketchfab and then using the textures from them. Yep. I'm so smart. I'm the smartest. Genius level, honestly, if I do say so myself. Just gotta scroll now and I can pull this There's some really good plate metal textures on here somewhere. Nothing on here that I could find that fits the UNSC aesthetic, like in a 1-to-1 ratio, unfortunately. But there were some good options on here that get pretty darn close. Like this one. This material. Looks pretty good. Go ahead and download that. I think I want to download it in that one. That one's pretty good. How does that look? This looks pretty good. Maybe a little too small. Well, we'll come back to that one later on, maybe. These look nice, but the red I don't care for. This blue might look good. This kind of fits the aesthetic pretty well. Maybe in some spots, like for windows and other bits. Or things that are supposed to look like windows. You know, we'll go ahead and... grab that one. This would be cool for like a old, like an abandoned, derelict kind of looking ship, maybe. see here. Okay, now we're getting there, I think. That's more of a stony look. This looks pretty decent, especially for the original Halcyon. That kind of fits the old Halo 1 design pretty well. It's a cement looking texture is what it says. This looks pretty good. See, it says cement path, but it's got such a metallic look to it. Kind of both. Honestly, I can see kind of both, but looks pretty decent up close and personal like. Mushrooms, man. This material looks pretty okay. Something to make my ship look good. And so far it's just concrete. That looks cool. Oh, buddy. Okay, here we go. In the metal department again. Hey, wow, it's even called Hull. This one looks pretty okay. One second. Sorry about that. I don't know. I don't like that one so much. It's too small platey. I'm looking for like large plate sections. Split up evenly. Weird. It's a Borg cube. Weird shapes. Oh, that's it, huh? Let me see. cyber whale. The oceanic nuisance of the future. An M1 Garand. Garand, Grand, whatever you want to call it. No. After this guy's stuff again. I don't know. Might be SOL and have to use something like this. Won't really look right though. Still nada. Did I download this already? This one looks kind of okay. It would look a lot better like over larger stretches of the hull. Yeah, okay, so I hadn't downloaded that yet. We can try that out, see how that looks. I printed cement one. Let's apply some of these. Let's see how they look. I'm looking to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. Alright, so let's see here. Terrible. Oh. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So why can I not select that texture? I think it's because it uses a specific one. Let's see. Oh, that's not right. I want to know why it's not letting me edit the hull. Hey, there we go. That's not right. Okay. All we have to do is make a new material. A new. Nope, not what I wanted. Image texture. Now, okay, that doesn't work. How the hell did I do this last time? Let's see. Let me do some quick googling real quick. I do not for the life of me remember how I did this the first time. I might have to extract the... May have to extract the textures from those models, those GLTFs. You can go. You can go. You will stay. May have to split it up into distinct sections after I do this to see about applying those so that it's not all just one static thing. Let's try you. How do I get you to be the thing? Jesus, don't die. That's too bad. Hey, sweetheart, how do I... I'm trying to change this material. Sorry guys, I've got to consult the higher authority in my household real quick. At least when it comes to blender stuff. How do I change this material to be this material that I got here?
Which material? This one?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. See how that looks. Oh! Great, it's terrible.
Control Z.
Let me see, how do I thin it down? Is that in texture stuff? Like, scale the texture, I think it is in texture paint.
Yeah. But I don't know how to do it in PowerPoint, whatever. There ain't no way.
What's up?
No.
What? Why are you saying no? I don't understand. What have I done wrong? Well, I was hungry now. Oh, these did not heat up or stay cool well. All gross and soggy. I should have eaten them last night. What in the heck? Maybe it's in UV stuff? No, hold on. Let's see what this does. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. That green tint I'm not loving. Let's try it really small, see how that looks. Okay, that looks a little bit better, honestly. A little bit. Gonna need more work, but I want to change that color, that metallic shine on there. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see here. Look any better? No, I don't think so. Well, what's generated do? Oh, yeah, there we go. That's somewhere. What does that look like? Ooh, sexy. I like how that looks. Now we're getting somewhere. I like the tint on it is a little dark, so let's. Gotta fix that. That does not look right. That's weird. It looks fine down here, but on the top section, for whatever reason, it's super weird. That's odd. Let's see here. I could change it to sphere or tube. Hey, no. I don't think so, Cat. Artemis. The smart dude. Yeah, I like how that looks as a base texture, but it's like, I don't know how to get it to not look so dark. Oh boy, that doesn't look great. I don't know what any of these do.
Why are you just looking at the missing texture again?
I'm not. I'm messing with it.
Yeah.
See, I can get it to look like this, but then I don't know how to change the color.
It depends on if you're using a texture or not.
I am.
Then you have to change the physical texture to be a color you like.
Does that look? That looks good. Looks okay. I'd love to get this specific kind of large plating texture, so it's a little bit nicer, but I don't know. I may change it, go back, and look at a different texture. We'll see where that's at now. Anyway, guys, I am gonna go ahead and end this stream, this video, now. Work on this some more. Oh Lord, that does not look right. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna go and edit this some more later, and then I'll see you guys next stream, probably on Wednesday. Remember to like the video, share, and subscribe. Anyway. Yeah. Hopefully this clears up decently. I'll probably experiment with different textures. So, anyway, you guys take it easy.